Hey, y'all. What's going on, folks? We're live, baby girl. What's
We
up,
are
everybody?
live. We are
Yeah,
definitely
man.
live.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing, man? It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Checking in with you guys, and thought we'd give you some of the good, the bad, the ugly of the prison shit. The inside is the inside scoop.
Huh.
And we hope everybody's well, man. If you guys like hearing the truth about the corruption or the decrepit conditions of confinement in solitary, and you know, you like hearing all that stuff, and hit that like button, man, and share my shit and subscribe. We don't.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
We don't seek nothing but the truth and putting the truth out there to enlighten the public and society of what goes on behind these walls with the corrupt cops, the corrupt system, and the decrepit conditions of confinement. And that's all, Other than that, we're just chilling. We're hanging out. We're chillaxing, taking it easy. We had my baby girl suffered a little injury this week, so there won't be no drawing tonight. We're going to try a little something different, just hang out and chill with you guys, man.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. So, Tim, is there still an echo? I have absolutely zero control here with the technological. Okay, echo's gone and it sounds good. Excellent. Okay.
Right on, Tim. Thank you, bud. Shout out to you, man. I send my best to you, bro. And everybody else who's tuning in, who's worthy. You know who you are. Baby girl suffered a little setback this week, and so we won't be doing no artwork tonight. We're just taking it easy and chillaxing on a Saturday night,
Yeah, I injured my drawing arm, and no bueno. It's bad, but no blood, no gore, so not terribly bad.
Yeah, no bueno.
It hurt, and
it hurt.
I'm gonna need to recoup for a couple weeks, and we'll be back. We'll be back to it.
We'll be back.
I'm a little upset
back at it, huh?
Because drawing and painting is my outlet. So
that's baby girl outlet. Art.
So
art,
if you're in the chat, come say hello. We're gonna talk about a few things tonight. We got some topics. We want to talk about the good and the bad and the ugly of the prison system here in California.
Well, I really don't think there's any good about it, actually. But, if you can make the best of a situation, you can turn the bad into a positive, I say, if you can, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, there's quite a bit. But, other than that, we got a few other little topics I want to talk about, too, here, man. I keep hearing this shit about actives don't talk, actives this, actives don't get on YouTube, actives this, actives don't do this, and they don't talk on YouTube, and they don't talk out there. Well, let me tell you guys something, man. Back in the days, our platform were things like fucking the Prison Focus newspaper. Prison Focus used to come out with what?
California Prison Focus, and also the San Francisco Bayview magazine.
Right. California Prison Focus, the Bayview, and the Prison Legal News. So we would write articles for them, and they would put it out there on what was going on at Pelican Bay Shoe or wherever we were, housed at the time. And that was our format, our platform at YouTube. That was our social media back in the days, right? And a lot of people wrote articles. I mean, good articles, good things about solitary confinement, good things about like really in-depth details on the corrupt side of the system, the conditions. And so what we're doing here is the same thing. But I don't have to write all this shit in letters and articles and shit no more. And so, a lot of people, there's a few people keep getting out here opening their mouth about that who don't, obviously ain't done their homework, because there's a few of us actives who do speak out, who have written hundreds of articles. Asker himself, Castellanos, everybody's written articles for Prison Focus. They've used the social media, to spread the word, especially throughout the first hunger strike, second hunger strike, and third hunger strike. The social media is a powerful tool to enlighten society about the deep, dark underbelly of corruption inside these walls. And so the same people who, are saying stupid comments or making comments like that are going on to talk about prison politics, and they're going on to expose things they probably shouldn't be exposed into the public, and shit that's supposed to be kept in-house. And, so there are a few of us that know how to talk. There are a few of us that know what lines not to cross, and we don't talk prison politics. We don't talk about stabbing this guy, doing that guy, or I was gotten at to go do this, or the drugs coming in this way or that way, or whoopity whoop. I don't do none of that, and I will never do none of that, because that's not what I'm about, and that's not how me and my friends get down. Now, other people might, whatever floats your boat. Now, so I'm going to put it to bed once and for all, man. We will speak out. And when we do speak out, it's corruption and conditions of confinement, what we did on the hunger strikes. My question is, where was you guys when we were doing the hunger strikes in your short corridor? Whoever wants to run their fucking mouth, where was you? Was anybody of you guys there? Where was you when me and 200 of my friends come together across racial boundaries and racial lines to unify a movement that changed the system? Oh, you were on the main line eating ice cream and candy bars, and doing your thing while we were back there starving. It's just, I get like burnt out hearing that stupid shit. Actives don't talk. You're full of shit, man. The YouTube is the new Prison Focus, the new Bayview, the new Prison Legal News platform. So, I'll put that to bed right now. Other than that, I'm done with that topic right there.
Well, it is that for the few of you who get it, but it is also a huge forum for those who want to exploit and utilize the corruption to their own benefits, which is really sad.
Right.
We're here trying to change
the
system.
And they're getting paid.
Well,
go ahead. Sorry, man.
They're getting paid is part of the glory in it all, and a lot of them do. It's there are some out there that are truly entertaining. They're not talking that stuff. They're who I'm talking about. There's a couple of them out there, and they're getting paid too. And but I from what I can tell, it's not where their income's coming from. But then there's that's neither here nor there, I guess, because it doesn't really matter. We're not about the money because we're about the message. I don't know what it is about people and how they find their way here, or why they don't want to hear what we have to say, or that they do. But what we're talking about is an extension of the hunger strikes.
The retaliation and everything that came out.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
They tried to lock that stuff down so hard. They didn't want any of it coming out. And what they want to do was hope it goes away. And we're not going to let that happen. We're not.
We're not going to let that happen because the efforts that we put in and the efforts that everybody else put in, my friend and his mom and Johnny Martinez and his mom and what they did for the hunger strikes and what my wife has done and what Asker and Ronnie Andel's done and everybody else has done for this movement. We cannot just sit back and let it die off in vain.
No, and I want to point out how the media utilizes, or I should say, how the institution utilizes the media to twist the narrative, to turn the story around, to make you guys out to be these vicious whatever, but that's not anywhere near the truth. I mean, we've gone over this time and time again that they create an element that you have to exist in, and you exist however you can without dying, which is, pretty chancy. I mean, I can't really speak from first experience because I've never been there myself, but I'm paying attention and I see what's going on, and I feel so moved to let the world know that this is wrong. What's going on here is so wrong.
It's wrong. No, I mean, so, you brought up a good point, baby girl, to Tim and everybody else, Outlaws, and mine, all you guys, man. Ken, Paul G, all you guys, man. I send my best to all you guys, Tim and everyone, man. And the thing is that if we don't enlighten the public about the corruption behind these walls, it's going to keep happening. And I believe, it's my belief, my own personal POV, we call it, in the text world, I guess, point of view in it, is that is the power. If you take away that curtain and show what's going on, you expose the corrupt underbelly part. You take down that curtain, bam, I got you. This is what's going on, folks. I've seen the power. I've seen how powerful that was during the hunger strikes. Now, you got some of these different fucking YouTube people. They won't say shit about corruption. They won't say nothing about dirty-ass IGI.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Dirty-ass IGI and their undercover snitch tube machine. They won't say nothing. But, boy, they'll tell you how drugs come in, and they'll tell you how politics are played. That's not how we get down over here. Let me call back.
Yeah, no, that's right, Tim. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. That's why we're bringing the light to the darkest, most corrupt crevices in society. A lot of our tax dollars go to support this corruption. And what they're coming up with next, oh my gosh, it's like they think that we're not paying attention or that we haven't seen it. Hold on. Is it coming back?
An incarcerated individual at the California State Prison for Brant, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial.
Come on, man. How many times?
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Yeah. Hey, babe, let me tell the people one thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can usually see who's about what with their content, what they're putting out there, because they won't talk politics, they won't talk no business whatsoever, and they'll stick to the corrupt side of it, and shit that you can file in the courts, shit that you'll file on a 602. Or, some shit like that. And, you talking people who fucking refer to women as bitches or whatever, right? And people who have their own opinion. I get it, but do your thing, and you know you're wrong about fucking actives. You're dead wrong about it, and you probably want to do your homework before you open your big mouth. That's what I say. Now, let's get on. Let's get on with the program, folks. Let me see here. I have a few topics I want to get at y'all about that we've been checking out. You know, like I said, I got the good, the bad, and the ugly here, and I'll start with these good. Unfortunately, if you come to prison, right, and you find yourself in a situation where you're in prison for whatever stint of time, man, the main good outlets you're going to have and you want to cultivate is your family contact. Number one, rehabilitation and reform starts with your family, man. And that consists of phone calls, visits and tablets, letter writing, shit like that. That is your main part of prison, and that's one of your best outlets is to your family. You know, that's, like I said, phone calls, tablets now, and visits and mail. And, you know, you don't want to fuck that up for nothing. And then you got helpful programs like anger management, education, GED, higher education above GED, college courses and so forth. You know, you got the law library that's helpful. If you utilize the programs, and if you can, if you're off lockdown long enough on these level 4 yards, or wherever you're at, you know.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
You know, and then you got your AA, NA classes and courses and shit like that, right? And the other good thing about it is commissary, because you're not going to eat all this fucking prison food. I guarantee you it's going to make your stomach turn. A commissary and packages, quarterly packages, unless you're in the hole on disciplinary, you only get one a year. On the main line, you get 4 a year, and one every 3 months, every quarter. So that's pretty much your goods about the goods in an unfortunate situation.
Well, and there's also the camaraderie that you might not find anywhere else. The life lessons that you'll develop, the survival skills that you will hone. There's some
the survival, yes,
good to be found in the bad, for sure.
Right, there's always a little good in a bad situation, man. You got to learn. You know, you learn from adversity. You know, when the locker room on these football teams and they're winning every game for every year, you know, it's not adverse. It's a light, positive atmosphere. But when they start losing and the people are fucking up and it starts getting ugly, you start to find out who's who. And in those types of situations, you really develop the craft at your intuition. I mean, not craft, but you develop your intuition at reading situations really good. And, so that's a good thing, you know. So you learn a little bit about your situation and your surroundings, you know.
If you're lucky, you might even go to Voc Rehab and learn some employable skills too. Mm-hmm.
Right. If you're lucky and you're a level 2, level 3, you can get a vocational training, computer classes, silk screening courses, or like I guess the optical. They got an optical down there in Solano. They make prison glasses for everybody across the state. Optical, and these are useful tools. You know, when you get out on the streets, you know. So that's the good part about it in an unfortunate situation. Now the bad, man, where do I start? You're in prison. So you're in a box. You have a lot of bad in prison. There's no doubt about it. I mean, a lot of bad. I'm talking from rats, undercover rats, corruption, dirty cops who lie and sabotage you. You have fucking the higher up, the management, like the social wardens who don't uphold their policies for nothing. It's whatever they say it is that day. You know, the gossip, the rumor control, the crackheads in prison, the dope fiends who will sell you short for their next shot. You know, and a lot of fools lying to the public. A lot of motherfuckers lying, a lot of trash doing stupid shit. A lot of bullies. You got a lot of bullies in prison until they bully the wrong motherfucker and they get something ran through their chest cavity a couple dozen times. You know, you got that in here. That's not nothing good either. You know, that's bad. That's not cool. You know, there's a lot of, I can keep going, you know.
Well, wait a minute.
I tell you what.
We have a question here. What, if anything, is currently available to you as far as classes and courses?
Absolutely nothing. I get nothing. I'm in solitary confinement. We get absolutely nothing. All they do for solitary confinement is help people get a GED. I've had mine for 15 years. And so that's the highest level of education you can get while you're in solitary confinement.
Can't you take correspondence college courses on your own even?
You can, but you got to have the money to back it up. Okay. You got to have the money to buy the books. You got to have the money to pay for the proctors.
Meanwhile, lower levels are getting it paid for by the state.
Right. Well, a big thing about the higher learning, higher education is the proctors. The proctor part of it, where the instructors come out here and they give you the courses and the test. You know, you got to pay all that on your own. You have to pay for their time.
But not if you're on a low level where they're paying for it, right?
Right.
So there's no AA or NA either?
No, not in solitary. Not here, there's not.
No
not here. Pelican Bay there was.
Nothing. So nothing. You're just sitting there with your thumb up your butt, basically. That's what they expect you to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. So, I mean, that's the answer to that question. If a guy is getting his GED and he's in the hole, don't let him take the GED exam. And they'll keep giving him his packets while he's in the hole to complete for preparation of the GED. And, but other than that, that's it. That's it, man. And it really hinders your chance at a parole hearing, too. It really does. It hinders your chance at a parole hearing really bad.
Because you're not putting in the work they expect, and they expect you to do it. Mm-hmm. So it's like a catch-22. You can't get out, and you can't further yourself, and you can't further yourself to get out.
Right, exactly. You got it right on you hit the nail right on the head, baby girl. You know, and I don't even know how to say this, but the food is beyond bad. It's beyond bad. I know you guys know this already by listening to my fucking videos. The motherfucking food is dog shit. It's horrible, folks. I mean, we got soybean-based shit 6 out of 7 days this week, man. And get this. Ooh, watch this, folks. Here's another part of the bad. Well, they're going to try to take lunches 3 days a week out of 7 in solitary here, trying to say that it's cutting down on the calorie intake per 7 days.
What? Say that again. Say that again, because I think it needs repeating.
Okay. So they're trying to cut down on a calorie intake every 7 days. They do the big menu for the week. Well, they're trying to take 3 days of lunches out of 7 days of lunches. Out of 7 days.
Okay, so you only get 4 days of lunches.
Breakfast and dinner.
Okay, well, let's talk about the lunches for a minute. They're like you said, they're usually the best meal of the day, and they're what?
Yes. The best meal of the day is 2 pieces of bread of peanut butter and 2 little cookies in a little thing. It's the best meal of the day because it's the only really edible meal we get because the other shit is soybean. We can't eat that shit. 90% of it goes to the garbage.
So maybe once or twice a week you'll get a decent meal for breakfast or dinner?
Right. Once or twice a week we'll get a boiled egg or some oatmeal or some dry cereal we can eat. But so I don't know if it's, the day before yesterday they didn't give us a lunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said it's because of the budget cuts.
Budget cuts. Mm-hmm.
And that there's a lot of things coming down the pipe because of the budget cuts, but not one cop is losing a dime off his pay number.
Really?
Not one staff member or medical part or any part of the prison staff working here is losing a dime from their pay. But yet, any positive thing for a convict in prison or program, they're taking certain things.
Well, yeah, they tried to take the Friday visits, and IFC pushed back. See, now I think it's particularly disturbing that they're only taking the sack lunches from AdSeg.
Right, because they said it's our movement is restricted, so therefore we don't burn the same amount of calories per week as a prisoner on the main line.
Okay, so they know you're throwing away most of their shit anyways, right?
Right. They do know that because they pick up the trays and they see it go straight in the garbage.
Yeah.
They see it go right in the garbage. But look, I don't know. I don't know how far this is gonna go. I don't even know how much truth there is to it. But I do know the other day we didn't get lunches for the first day. So, I got it yesterday and today. But maybe tomorrow, I don't know.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
The whole house kicked up
Monday.
Dust for that lunch, right? I mean, to get it back, you guys had to
big time.
Make a lot of noise.
Big time, yes. Oh, yes, big time. I mean, you motherfuckers were lighting fires. They were fucking breaking out their cell windows.
Over a peanut butter sandwich. How fucking deprived are you guys anyways?
Oh, well, that says it all right here, doesn't it?
It sure does.
That says it right there in a nutshell, baby girl.
Getting upset over a peanut butter sandwich. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, man, that's the bad part of it. That's the really bad part.
That's not the ugly? That all sounded like the ugly. Oh, my God, I can't imagine.
It could be ugly, yeah. It can be bad and ugly. I mean, but it could be both of them,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
It's like a hybrid part of it. You know what I'm saying? Ugly and bad and ugly. Let me call back, baby.
Okay. Wow. Hey, you guys. The whole thing is wrong, Tim. The whole thing is so wrong. Mind-boggling. I mean, what will they think of next? It's just nonstop horror story. I don't get it. We're so lucky. We're so lucky for our First Amendment rights. I want to remind you people, whoever's listening, that being a constitutionalist is probably the most valid thing you can do these days. Uphold the Constitution. I was just telling people how lucky we are to have our First Amendment rights and how being a constitutionalist is about the most valoristic thing you can do.
Absolutely. I mean, thank God for the Constitution, for the First Amendment, man. This is what allows me to speak out. Mm-hmm. And I've never threatened nobody. I don't do none of that shit. I keep my shit tight. And I want to also clear something up for y'all. when I say that motherfuckers put my name in their mouths and this, that, and the other, what I'm saying is, what I'm not saying is, hey, don't support the movement. What I'm saying is support the movement, but you ain't got to go around smearing motherfuckers' names with gossip or talking about what gets on my radar is when people talk about live active cases, homicide cases, attempted homicide cases where men are facing death penalty, possible death penalties, or court cases, life without 25 to life, and you got these poltroons and these moles and these trolls that get on these internet sites and make comments that they know why this guy got smoked, or they know why that guy got smoked, and they got the end, they got the scoop, they got this. And these motherfuckers don't know a goddamn thing, because if they did, they would shut their fucking mouth and not make a comment about an active homicide case. That is really stupid and unintelligent. Very unintelligent. You know? Mm-hmm. And I will subpoena you if you talk about my case or any case I'm related to. Other than that, speak your mind. Fine. I got no problem with that. But when it comes down to a man in a fucked up position fighting for his life, and you're going to sit here and play the peanut gallery.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
On this man who's fighting for his life in the courts, and you're over here, blah, 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 that I know why it is or that. Man, you're full of dog shit, dude. And why don't you find something better to do with your life and more constructive, you know, than to sit there and talk about ongoing investigation homicide where you can be put on the stand and exposed to the motherfucking world. You know, and that's all I say right there, man. And, I hope I can get some support, man. You know, all I'm doing is trying to pass the word about corruption and the conditions of confinement. I'm not talking politics or nothing. That ain't my style. But support me, support the channel, pass it around. You know, I come in peace, man. I come in peace.
We come in peace.
But I'll tell you this. I come in peace, man, but do not cross that fucking line and talk about shit you ain't supposed to talk about with me or any of my friends, because then I don't come in peace no more. And then when that happens, we got a serious motherfucking malfunction in an unsavory situation. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hey, man, I come in peace, keep it cool. You know, it ain't good to talk about somebody's case, homicide case, attempted homicide case, or even the struggles of a man inside of a box. You know, why do you want to talk shit about like that? You know, it's like, come on, people. Get a grip. Get a life, man. Get a fucking life. Talk about the corrupt side of IGI. Talk about the dirty dog side of prison. You know? In these other sites, they don't do none of that. They want to glorify the politics. They want to, me and the homie over here, hey, we were doing this and this and fucking moving drugs and this.
They don't want to talk about what it feels like to lay on stone with nothing in the damp.
Right.
In the heat.
No, they want to talk about how cool they were. They want to talk about how many fucking peladas they done. They want to talk about how many times they've been in the shoe, this, that, and the other, and all these boogeyman stories. And, you know, that, I mean, look, man, whatever. But when you talk about homicides on the internet, and you're talking about shit that I know personally, that I was, that I know facts on, or something like that, and you're dead wrong, and it's like, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? You're doing nothing but causing trouble for yourself.
Well, they're playing telephone. And they're playing telephone, too.
Yeah.
And they hear it, and then it slightly warps, and by the time it gets to, back to the person, it's a whole other story.
Right. And, it's just mind-blowing that people claim to be doing something or trying to educate. So, they're trying to educate somebody, the public or some kids, some young bucks. That's cool. Hey, that's what I'm about. Let's educate these kids about not coming to prison. But not talk about homicides that are active cases in the federal court or in the state court because you want to bolster your views or your money that you're collecting off off the society's back. Because you talk cool or you think you're cool or you refer to a woman as a bitch. I mean, come on, man. Have some class, man.
So Grant here asks, what does Scoops think about CDCR Secretary Jeff McCumber?
Okay. Jeff McCumber and I go way back. I know Jeff McCumber when Jeff McCumber was a sergeant here in Folsom in 1998, 1999. And back then, he had his boots on the ground, no doubt. We had a little respect for McCumber back then. And then once he took that captain's review and he moved on up past that captain, they become a manager. Well, they become an administrator. And they don't give a fuck about nothing no more. They don't give a shit about me. They don't give a fuck about the low tier cops. They don't care about a tier cop. They don't care about nobody but money. And how they can get it. What can they cut corners on? What can they do, even at the expense of a man's life? So I know McCumber's been on the tiers. That's the truth. And, but I think when he got up into the administration, his brain got contaminated in a few different ways, because now it's like he don't give a fuck what's going on. He's just going to create bloodbath all over. That's all he cares about. And his system now that he's pushing for this mixture of S&Ys and GPs, that's never going to work. But they don't give a fuck, So, I don't think much of him anymore. I really don't. I think he's a fucking fool. He's a fool. And I mean a fool. A straight fool.
Well, what about this most recent stuff with the governor and the new plan and all that crazy, twisted, demented, gonna make everything better? Never mind what the prisoners say or do. We're just gonna force it anyways. And
I know. I mean, that's like I said, baby girl. He's a fool. It's money. It comes down to this paycheck. Okay.
Oh no, honey. You know it's more than a paycheck. Then it's paycheck and power, and how they utilize that power. Obviously, the leaders are thrilled. Okay, the leaders are thrilled, and nobody else is.
Right, it is. It's power too. But Kathleen Allison was before McCumber,
right?
And she didn't do nothing.
No.
Connie Gibson, Ralph Diaz, Scott Kernan. Scott Kernan did the most. And it wasn't much, but he let us out of the chute.
Right.
So I will say that. He let us all out of the chute. Now, McCumber, like I said, he's not going to last long because there's going to be so many dead bodies, so many fucking issues, and it's going to fall right back on his lap like Yogi Pinnell did when McCumber let him out of the hole against what McCumber's own IGI told him. Do not let him out of the hole because he is going to get hurt. And then do not let him go to B yard because he's really going to get hurt. But you can let him go to C yard and he'll be okay. And what McCumber do? He let him go to B.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yep.
Where IGI told him, his own institutional gang investigators told him, if you let him go to B, he's in trouble. But he can go to C and he'll be just fine. Well, what they do, McCumber let him go to B, and look what happened. Allegedly. I wasn't here. I just know the outcome I see in the papers. And what I'm saying, though, is McCumber was under investigation for third-party culpability.
Wait, and by papers, you mean legal papers, not newspapers, right?
No, legal documents. Right. And I got it right here in my cell. I mean, I can read it to you. It's all over it's all over the court. So, the attorneys on our federal case and the prosecutor, they all know McCumber was a third party in this trip. And if it wasn't for McCumber letting this guy out of the hole, blah, 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 McCumber was a part of it. And come to find out, there were some documents uncovered that said IGI told McCumber, do not let him go to the main line on B yard.
Uh-huh.
C yard, yes. B, no.
Uh-huh.
What McCumber do? Let him go to B.
Uh-huh.
Put him on B. So that's what we call third-party culpability.
Uh-huh.
And therefore, there was supposed to be an investigation on his ass for that move.
Uh-huh.
But that's on him. Whatever, that's his problem, not mine. And, so McCumber, he did walk the tiers, he did push the trays, he did interact with convicts back in the days, too, when it was real. Like, you hear people talk about back in the days, back this day. Well, I'm not talking in 2000. I'm talking in the mid-90s. And then for me, I came in on the tail end of the old school cats, the B numbers and the C numbers. I came in right on the tail end of that. Once you get to the 2000s, 2005s, on up, man, that ain't back in the days, man. That's this fucking millennial shit. That's when we can't even smoke a cigarette no more and lift some weights. They took all that from us in 99, 2000. But, that's my point on, that's my take on McCumber, man. He should be investigated for third-party culpability, and his ass should pay the price for that, because they convicted my co-defendants for that shit, and they had nothing to do with none of it. Why can't that fucking dude be investigated, Because if he wouldn't have made the decision against his own investigation guys, against their fucking say, it would have never probably happened, And so McCumber played a big role in all that.
So,
Grant
has another question. I don't think Brant can.
Wait, I got to call back.
Yeah,
I got to call back.
Call back. I don't think he can answer that because it's still an active case, regardless of what the press is telling you. He's got his motion to vacate. Hold on, he's calling back.
An incarcerated individual at the California State Prison for Brant, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a good. Thank you for using Global Tel.
So,
all right, what's the question?
So Mike D here says in New York, when they try to take the weights and cigarettes, they rioted all over the state. Yeah, they did that here too, didn't they?
We did a little bit, but the riots had already been happening before.
Mm.
The riots happened because, so when you take all the positive programs for lifers and you put them on these prison yards and they got no incentives to be good, no conjugal visits for lifers anymore from 1996, 1997. No nothing. And you take all these prisoners now, 3 strikes was at his height, and you put them on these yards, and you got nothing to do. So, the riots start kicking off in the 90s, man, and it got really ugly. I mean, it got ugly, bad. And sometimes it would be us, sometimes it would be them, sometimes it would be us, sometimes them on the upper hand. But you're going out to the yard, and you're going to do your due. Whether you come home and eat that lunch and them cookies afterwards, it's yet to be seen. But you're going. You're going out there and you're going to do your due. And that's what created the riots before all that. So, and all that really did was enhance the riots and made it worse. Because we really didn't have nothing to keep a cool head over no more. We really didn't have nothing to be good over. We're not going home. Back then, if you listen to my other videos, you get life, you're doing life. You're never going home, ever. You go to the shoe, especially you go to the shoe, you're never, ever going home unless you debrief. And before the Astor settlement, nobody ever went home from the shoe. A good friend of mine had a 7 to life. He did 36 years. The last 30 years was...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
The last 30 years was in the shoe, folks. And he had 20 board hearings. And they would never let him parole. And he didn't have a 115 for 30 years, folks. The guy had what they call negative points. Negative. Negative points. That means he's not even a level 1. He shouldn't even be a level. And they would never let him parole. Once the Astor case came, they finally let him go home a couple years after. And he's out there now, and he's married to, you know who, babe? Dolores.
Oh, yeah.
Or,
okay, well.
And, huh?
None.
Right. Well, yeah, that guy finally got out after the settlement, and, he only wouldn't get out. They would never let him out of prison in the shoe because he would not debrief.
Right.
And he spent all them years in the shoe, holding his mud, keeping his head high, learning. He knows the law very well.
Uh-huh.
I have a high respect for that man. I will always have a high respect for that man.
Uh-huh.
He's not white. He's a Mexican guy.
Uh-huh.
He's a Mexican dude, but he's a really good man. He's a really good man. And I learned a lot from him as far as the law goes. I spent about 6 years with him in the pod up there in the short corridor. And out of 12 years in the short corridor, I did 12 years in the short corridor. And he was there the last 6 years I was there with him, or 5, something like that. And he finally got out. He finally got out of prison, man. Thank God, man. Right on. And I send him a shout out, and I send him all my love and respect right here, right now. But let me get on to the ugly part of prison, folks. The ugly part, it's kind of a more. It's kind of a hybrid between the bad. The ugly part of prison is the dirty politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
The underbelly of these dirty, corrupt motherfuckers in prison. The backstabbing, the backbiting, the gossip mongers, the instant gossip, the Instagram gossip column of CDCR. The get backs. Let me tell you something. Usually, when a cop gets on a convict in prison, a lot of times it's when the convict is cuffed up, right? They might not be cuffed up when it first happens, but after it happens, an assault on staff or whatever, and I don't promote no violence, I don't think no violence should happen because that's how CDCR knows how to deal with violence. It's the peaceful protest that they don't like. You know, work stoppages, work shortage, shit like that, hunger strikes, work strikes. That's what they don't like. They don't like dealing with that because they don't really know how.
Well,
but they do know how. Wait, they do know how. Wait, man.
Okay.
They do know how to react to violence very well. They do know how to react to violence very well. Sorry, babe. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. I was just interjecting. Just interrupting.
Okay.
You shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so, you know, for me, when I see, I'm going to give you an example. A few years ago, I seen a few cops jumping on a little old skinny black guy, beating the dog shit out of him, in cuffs and in shackles, right?
That's sick.
And this guy couldn't even defend himself, folks. You know, and it was, I don't know this guy. I never met this guy. You know, and he's not even my people, but he's a convict. I'm a convict. And to see this and witness this from my cell window, it just left a really foul fucking taste in my mouth. And here's the kicker. The guy was cuffed and shackled, and they bundy splashed with their knees on his back, smashed his back of his head so his face hits the concrete. You know, he could not defend himself. And here's the thing, folks. After they were done, there was blood everywhere and shit like that. And here's the disgusting part of these fucking nasty pigs. They clapped, high-fived, and chest bumped each other. And they were like, hoorah and hoorah, after the guy was out of the building and everybody was gone from the scene. And I watched this from my cell, right?
Wow.
And I tell you this, everybody, look, man, this is no bullshit. This guy must have weighed about 110 pounds, soaking wet, about 70 years old.
Wow.
I don't know if he lived or not, but the nurse said he had a broken spine. And, you know, these nurses ain't going to say nothing because these cops will threaten them. And, hey, but listen, that's the ugly side of prison. Shit you see, right? Shit you see in prison is ugly. A lot of times it's ugly, man. And
happens to you?
I'm a prisoner, but I'm a fucking man. Right. I'm a human being, man. I'm a prisoner. I'm a man, though, right? I don't know this dude at all. But to see this and to see them chest bump and high five and hoorah each other after they just beat a man in cuffs and shackles. How is that honorable, people? You know, and I hear these other channels, and they're talking about you can't beat an inmate no more. I bet you wasn't beating a motherfucking convict when he wasn't in cuffs. And a lot of times they think that's cool, folks. That's not cool.
No.
To be a man defenseless, unable to protect himself with his two hands and feet because he's locked in cuffs and shackles,
and beat by his so-called custodians.
Or he might have beat one of them up or sucker punched one of them. I don't know, right? All I know is after the fact, when you are restrained and in cuffs,
right,
you are now defenseless.
Right.
And that's what they did to that man.
That's fucked
That's
up.
what they did to that man. And I've seen many things like this in my career. And I don't know how anybody can get on these YouTube things or anywhere else and boast or take pride in beating human beings when you are cuffed. When you got that man cuffed and shackled and he can't even protect his face or put his dukes up. And you think that's cool. You're a piece of shit. If you think that's cool, man, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Come get a motherfucker when he ain't got no cuffs on. Come get me when I ain't got no cuffs on. And let's have a little drink of coffee and maybe get to know each other in the cell a little bit. But don't beat a man while he's cuffed up and defenseless.
No.
So that's the ugly side of prison, folks. And I wanted to share that story, baby girl. I told you before. But I wanted to share that story just for this part of the ugly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I had to sit in my cell and watch this happen. And it was ugly. It was very ugly. Well, and I don't know the dude. The dude could be a weirdo. I don't know. I still don't know this man.
Right.
But the instinct in
This call and/or telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
My instinct in my heart feelings and shit, to see somebody get done like that as a human being is not good, man. That's just not okay for me. You know? And so that's the ugly part of being a coward. That's how these cowards are. And they take pleasure in doing human beings like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Now, what about the part on the administrative thing?
The ugly parts in administration is they'll set you up. Like, here's an example. They know the rules, they know the policies because they write them. But then they circumvent them when they need to. Or they might try to set homeboy out on the main line by himself, one by one, into a position knowing that there might be an issue, or they could be, or they might not be because the cops started the issue. The cops done propagated the issue. So they create the issue, they propagate the issue, and then they put the people in line to have the issue. And, you know, that's how the administrations do it. And like now, they're making bets. They're making bets according to the staff on the RC program, guys coming out getting fucked up. So, and they're making bets. This is ugly. This is what they're telling us, that they're making bets. They're making bets on human beings, on us, folks. Hey, listen, any prisoners, they're making bets on us. And they think it's funny, folks. They think it's funny. They think it's cool. You know, and we're going to play right into their fucking hands? I'm not doing their dirty work. No way. No fucking way. I'm not doing their dirty work. I ain't playing their game. I ain't playing their game. I ain't doing their dirty work.
So in that respect, then they add on more unbearable bullshit to your daily life. Correct?
Yes.
Like this super petty, passive-aggressive, abusive culture that you're forced to survive in.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Right, baby girl, you're exactly right. Let me call back, Mom.
Well, I see the chat is lit. We're just not going to talk about any of that, but you just go right ahead. Salmon. That's fucking hilarious. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this thing's being a butthead again. So, yeah, things are gonna get interesting here. Real interesting. In the meantime, if you have people that are locked up, that are especially in a solitary or ad seg, and you're not reaching out, you should. And see what they need. Hear what they're saying. And come join our fight for righteous human dignity. Every 15 minutes, I gotta reset the phone. Every 15 minutes. It doesn't stop till she says recorded.
All right, I'm back there.
You are back.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, man, ugly shit is ugly, man. You're going to see ugly shit in prison, right? Like I just described to y'all, man. And if that doesn't tell you how fucking ugly it is, I don't know what will. You know, and to have to see somebody beat like that in cuffs and shackles and not be able to defend themselves, like 3 monster-ass pigs are jumping on him, and they think it's funny and beating him and stomping their knees into his back, jumping from standing to their double knee in his spine 30, 40 times, crushing his spine to where he's paralyzed. It's like not cool, man. Not cool.
It is all right.
Another thing is, right.
So,
right,
question here for you: do you still want to go to the feds?
At this point, I'm beyond the feds now because I filed to vacate my deal. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. Because now I got tablets in the state. I'm from California, Sacramento. My family's here, my wife's here, and everything's here. Yeah. And they're closing down RC programs and shit like that. So, you know, I don't know, man. It's a hard question to answer because on one hand, the medical and feds, the medical system and the feds is 50% better than this shit here. Like, I forgot. Let me tell the folks. You know, so they put my medications in front of what they call a review board in Sacramento, a pain management board, and they're giving these doctors I've never dealt with, who sit down the highway, 40 miles down, 20 miles down the highway. They're going to make a decision about my medications. You know, all my meds go in front of these people. And I've never met these people, don't know them, never met them, never talked to them, never been medically evaluated by this group of doctors, and yet they're going to make the decision on my medications. And so my primary doctor that's hands-on don't get to make that decision. You know, and the special doctors that deal with my spine and my heart, I guess, no longer get to make the decision. So it goes to a board in Sacramento, the health CCHS part of CDCR, the healthcare part, and there's like 7 doctors that's going to make a decision about me and my healthcare and my medication treatment plans. And I've never met these people. They've never spoken to me. They've never evaluated me hands-on. So I wanted to be rid of the medical system in CDCR, and that's a big reason why I do want to go to feds. Is because the medical is way better over there in their prisons than in CDCR. So, I mean, I guess I kind of do, but then I kind of don't. You know, it's that would be my best answer.
So we got a lot of chit chat in our chat, which is nice. But they're talking about some of the fellas in your case. And so I'll just leave that at that.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, whatever. Let me see here. Anybody got any questions? Is there any questions, man, y'all want to shoot at me while we're on here tonight?
Well, like the one dude did want to know what you thought of Burhop being, or no, Mazza being out. About Mazza being out.
They're rats. They're rats. I mean, simple as that. They're no good cheese eaters. They fucking flipped. My bro Ronnie got charged for their charges and convicted, and they get to go.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
My friend don't get to go home. They get to go home. Burhop admitted to all his shit, but yeah, he gets to go home. My friend don't. So as far as I'm concerned, fuck them dudes, man. I hope they fall off the face of the earth and fall into the sun itself. You know? No, I really, I got no respect for them cats and what they did. I really don't,
Well,
man. They're garbage.
But
they're garbage. I wanted to also talk to y'all real quick about a few other topics here. So, wait a minute. Let me see here. Right here.
Mike D says free Yandel.
What happened?
I said Mike D says free Yandel. Okay, so he's just also saying
That's
about
right.
how the feds are kind of shitty. Don't be fooled. And they'll send you anywhere.
No.
Even though they were promised.
They will.
They were promised to keep them in California. Believe them.
Well, we were sentenced to California's federal prison system, but it don't work that way. I mean, it can happen. I could go across the country and then come back this way later on. And push that issue on my sentence. I know it works. It's up in the air, and you're right. But hey, free Yandel, free Scoops too, man. Don't forget me. Let me come home, man. I keep the neighborhood clean of the chomos and the rapos. We won't have none of those in my neighborhood. You can bet that. Your wife and kids will be just fine in my neighborhood.
Okay, well, this is definitely a no-go zone question. What's up with the kite Ronnie sent Dale in 2019?
That was a fabrication by a rat. That was a forgery by a rat trying to perpetrate like Ronnie and trying to pit me and Ronnie against each other. That was a liar. That was a guy that was working for Squad who was a very good artist, and he was one of the guys that bragged over about having over 100 kites forgeries in circulation to me and my friend Robert in Corcoran Shoe. And little did we didn't know what he was talking about until we got the discovery in our RICO case. When we got the discovery in the RICO case, and we got all these motherfucking kites that this dude had forged. I mean, I got letters in the mail. Ronnie got letters in the mail. A few other people were getting letters in the mail. I've got several kites sent to me in Corcoran Shoe, and my friend Robert from Ronnie, from 5 other people that wrote kites, but it was not them. It was 2 or 3 debriefers working undercover for Squad for 4 years. And then when they got too hot, they tapped out and split and bragged and boasted to several Mexicans and whites and myself and my friend Robert, that they were circulating counterfeit kites in everybody's name, causing a bunch of inner chaos, trying to get us to implode. And that was verified by Corey Perryman's OCS in our case at the Daubert hearing. So, be prepared for Ronnie's lawsuit. There's a lawsuit coming. It was sent out on August 14th, and it should be filed by the 21st or 23rd of next week. So that's going to explain a lot of bullshit that they did to me and that they did to my friend Ronnie. We were neighbors for 5 years in the Bay, folks, in the Vent. We learned Spanish together, one of my best friends. And they played us. They try to play us. And they sent us kites. So, again, you suppress me, keep me cut off with another friend of mine from these guys, and you put a bunch of lanes in between that's working for Squad, causing a lot of chaos, spreading these kites for these dudes, and that's what you got. That's what you got.
Yep.
So
that's as ugly as it gets.
You suppress the truth and control the narrative, and you put your own facts, and you use a lot of these undercover snitches. This is why it's so bad. This is why I keep telling people, be prepared and be aware of these undercover rats who are working on behalf of squads to cause massive chaos in the system. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And unfortunately, we fell for it. And I'll be the first to admit it. I fell for it. The rest of us fell for it. We didn't realize this until it was too late. And it's fucked up. But we do now.
Like D
and we see you
right there.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to
we
make
see you, and it's not going to happen again. In our federal case, fellas, truth seekers of America,
agents
my
of
people.
Destruction. That's exactly what they
This
are.
call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Agents of Destruction.
Hey, right. Chaos agents. This is why I say they're chaos agents.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who actually wrote that was a guy that came down to Corcoran from Pelican Bay, and as a chaos agent, he had already been working for squads for 4 years. That's his words. This is what he told us. And this is what he told the Mexicans, the North, the South, and the blacks on what he was doing when he tapped out. When he tapped out, he gave it all up.
Okay.
He told everything.
Here's a question. Why did OCS try to portray a split between you guys? Between you and Ronnie?
Because if you have... It wasn't ever, there's never a split, and I'll never talk about it. But I will tell you this. When you conquer, how do you conquer? You divide. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
That's what they tried. So, how do you conquer? No. Oh, how do you conquer, folks? You divide.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The old divide and conquer, banana in the tailpipe trick.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. You guys, I know you guys are a study of history. You know, you used your resources, and that's what they did. They seen when we were in Pelican Bay, we were all together. We could change the fucking system by uniting everybody. Come together. Let's focus on the real problem. What's the real problem? The policies, administration, staff, isolation for decades for nothing. Get us all out on these main lines. Spread us all over the state. Start playing games on the chessboard. You move this pawn, move this rook, move this bishop, move your queen. You make these moves on the chessboard. My shit in Salinas gave them the prime opportunity, truth seekers of America, to go ahead and start their master game. Isolate me from my friends, suppress my truth, suppress the actual facts and truth to control the narrative to the mass, and that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And they used undercovers to help them. And you know what's crazy, folks? Is they have a debriefing building in Corcoran.
Mm-hmm.
And wherever guys lock up in the main lines that are validated associates or members, they got to go through the debrief program down there in Corcoran for 1 year. They would walk by our cage. We called it the walk of shame. They had to walk by our cage. And they would walk by me and my friend's cage, and they would fucking spill the beans, man. It's already over. We can't get at them. We can't get to these fucking snitch-ass motherfuckers.
Right.
And
you have 60 seconds remaining.
They'd be like, yeah, Scoops, we did that. Yeah, we were working for this IGI guy over here at Salinas, or we did that. We were told to do that. Whoop-de-whoop. They gave up the game. Well, turns out in our discovery in the RICO case, it was all mapped out by OCS. Let me call back.
And there you have it, man. It's crazy. Just crazy. Oh my goodness. A violation of rights. Absolutely a violation of rights. It is mind-blowing. Oh. debriefers have to give up everything, and they'll just keep dogging them till they feel they've got enough.
An incarcerated individual asked, the California State Prison or Prison, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call,
Gosh.
thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Yeah, it is. It is psychological. There's some conversation going on here. You know.
Oh well, let me finish up something real quick because this is very interesting on what they did.
Okay.
I don't know who asked that question, but whoever, listen. You got to look at this life like a chessboard. This is how they see it. This is how the gang task force sees it in prison. Because prison is a shelled, enclosed world. It's a world in here. And if you have billions of dollars, the best technology in the fucking United States of America to use on prisoners, then you use the psychological battle of it, the emotional battle, the control the narrative issue, and if we come together, what we're really going to focus on is it's on them and their programs. It's on changing the system for a better outcome for everybody. That's what they don't want us to focus on. Mm-hmm. So, when I came off the main line in Salinas and went to the home, that gave them the prime opportunity to start their agenda of mass chaos, trying to make us go at each other with their propaganda. Suppress the narrative, suppress the truth, control the narrative by divide and conquer. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they did. And I seen it in Salinas. I knew it in Corcoran. Now, I'm sitting in Corcoran's shoe for a year. 2018, I got there in 17 in July. Mm-hmm. And after the shit in Salinas. And I get a funky-ass letter in the mail. I know my friend Ronnie's writing very well. He was my neighbor for 5 years. I know him very well. I know his writing to the T. I know it very well. He don't use terminology like this letter. But this letter was in his name. And I'm like, no way is this him. No way does he write cursive. No way. Nah, something's fishy going on. And I felt it in my stomach. No matter what in life.
Well, it wasn't
no matter if we argue.
Was it?
No, it was their undercover rats playing games for him. And no matter if we argue, no matter if we bump heads, bros, man, no matter nothing, none of that. I know this man, and he knows me very well. Very, very well. Like my wife knows me almost, other than a few little things. But, I knew it wasn't him. I just knew it. And then he's over here, and he's getting letters too. And kites, and I'm getting kites. And these, man, you guys got no fucking idea what they did to us. Hey, but I tell you, get that lawsuit. Check out his lawsuit in the Eastern District, folks. Mm-hmm. It'll be out by next week. Because it's fucking damaging to what they did to us. And they did it. They did it, man. I give it to them. And I fucked up. We all fucked up because we fell for it. But not no more, people. Not no more. Mm-hmm. Never again.
Mm-hmm. So
never again.
The full weight of the U.S. government applied to manipulate these men's lives. It's mind-boggling.
Amen. Fucking amen, brother. I'm telling you now, man.
You think they were like...
They fucking did it.
Think you were like international spies or something.
Uh-huh. Yep. And you know what's fucked up is it was so obvious. The old divide and conquer tactic, that's what they use, man.
Yeah.
And through disinformation.
Right.
They used it through disinformation.
Mass psyops. Yep. Just, they figured it all out.
That thing our friend Outlaw News put out there about that one fucking trip they were doing back in the days. Remember?
Rotors?
67 or 6. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, that's what they did. Old is in prison, old is new again, new becomes old. Old is new again,
right.
New becomes old. It just goes back and forth every 10 years.
Right, you're absolutely right, Mike. They do not like the end of hostilities. They hate it. They hate it. Grant wants to know your thoughts on Ashker.
Who?
Ashker, Todd.
Oh, I mean, that's my friend. I mean, I've known Todd for years. He's a good dude. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. You know, I don't believe nothing of what I've heard. Nothing. I don't care. They're like the rumor gossip mill is the rumor gossip mill.
Yep, they want
it's what they did to me.
Yep, they love it when y'all going at each other. Yep.
It's what they did to me. Right? I know they did this to me. So, and he's an even bigger target for CDCR and their propaganda than I am. You know? And I'm in court, and I'm here.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It's like my drawings on those cover pictures. They love the chaos, and they don't care about justice. So, the judge doesn't care about justice.
So listen, I know Todd since for 24 years now, and you know, for me, the guys earned the benefit of the doubt, man, over any fucking rumor in prison. I don't give a fuck about no rumors or gossip. I don't care until I know it for a fact or know something. If I can't learn from what I just went through, I'm a motherfucking moron. I went through it myself, and I know what they're doing to him, you know, and what they did to him. And until it's proven, you know, anything I see or, you know, I see myself or, you know, something like that, then I'm going to reserve my judgment and, you know, send in my best every time I can and fucking, you know, and until we find out, oh, that guy changed the system. That was his mind, his fucking baby, the hunger strike. He did that. We all rode. Well, it wasn't just him. It took everybody.
Right.
But Todd was the one who read the books. Todd was the one who came up with the idea and gave it to us and asked us what we thought. You know, he did that, and I give credit where credit's due. You know, you got to, man. You got to. And so for that very reason, and I know he's very intelligent, very smart, he deserves the benefit of the doubt over some fucking coward-ass yard dope fiend, or some snitch tuber. Some guy's never been to prison, yet he's on snitch tube, or some dude that's been in prison. He talks like he's all that in a bag of chips about politics in prison and selling drugs or whatever. My bros deserve the motherfucking benefit of the doubt over any fucking moron like that. Well, and that's a fact, Jack.
Mike D says if white, black, and brown come together, they're unstoppable. Well, they were. That's what they.
Man, Mike G, that's how we changed the system from Pelican Bay shoe within a shoe, bro. We were I didn't see a man going to a GP main line for 12 years, bro. 12 years, man. I didn't even see. I seen 8 people, the same 8 people in my section, damn near the whole 12 years, but 1 or 2 different guys that got moved out of there for whatever reason, you know. And when we come across them lines and we put our heads together and we stop letting these fucking pigs and these fucking Sacramento and these fucking corrupt son of a bitches control the game, the life, our programs, and we put our heads together, man, we can make change like you wouldn't believe, man. But as long as they got these undercover obstructionists, these undercover chaos agents, like them guys that were writing counterfeit kites and forgeries and letters and doing all their dirty work on the under and going around with the rumor mills and They got these dudes on these GPRs wanting to be all that in a bag of chips that ain't never done shit, but suck up and kiss somebody's ball sack and wash their crusty socks. They're going to continue to try, but it's on us to stop it. It's on us not to let it be effective, because they're going to try. They're not going to stop, but we have to develop and evolve so it's not effective no more.
Yep.
That's my position, man. And Ronnie knows it. My co-defendants know my position, and I think everybody needs to take a step back, reset, hit the reset button, and chill out, and recognize what we learned, what we've gone through, what they're still doing, how they're using these snitch tubers out there, even, and refigure this thing out, man. Go back to the Pelican Bay ways, come together, re-solidify the unity, come back together and fight this motherfucker forward and stop them from from being effective. That's it. And that's my thing. And I want you guys to check out this lawsuit that's coming out, because I wrote a couple declarations, and everything in it that my bro and my friend Ronnie wrote is legit. 100% factual, on point, and I support it. And as soon as I get copies of it, my wife's putting it on our thing, folks, because it's a good one. It's a good one. Let me see here. I got maybe one more topic. Well, I'll save that one for next time. That's nothing.
Yeah.
But I want you guys. Wait. Yeah, I want you guys to understand something about this prison shit, man. When they can control the narrative, I'm going to tell you how they do this. When we were in the hunger strikes, when we were doing the hunger strikes in Pelican Bay, I knew for a fact there was over 100 on strike. Well, Terry Thornton, the spokeswoman for CDCR, gets on the news and says there's only 12, 15 dudes doing a strike. It's over. It's dying down. Man, I knew for a fact there was over 600 dudes on it, right? So they get on there painting this fucking picture for society that we got food in the cell, we got all types of crap in the cell, we're lying, this, that, and the other. Okay, I started realizing that the bogus propaganda and their MO, their modus operandi to the public was to smear us at all costs. Smear, we're bad, we're the worst of the worst, this, that, and the other, and yet a lot of us, there's a guy up there with negative points. He shouldn't be in the shoe, my friend, right? He got it parole. And so I started realizing the power of social media, the power of the truth being exposed in the California Prison Focus, the Prison Legal News, and the Bayview, as did a few blacks and a few Mexicans and a few other whites, a few other friends of mine. We all start to realize that as long as we don't cross the lines like these other fucking rats are, like these other rats are, and these snitch tubers, putting out certain shit they shouldn't be doing, and this, that, and the other, I won't even go back into it. But I'm going to use it. I'm going to fucking use it, and I'm going to fucking tell you guys the truth. And I think it's on everybody. I think more people should be on here doing this, and that's why Ronnie's putting together his thing, and other people are starting to see the power of the truth coming out to the public. So with that said, man, baby girl, we'll wind this one on down.
Just a few things here. Just a few quick things here. First of all, Mike D just wants you to know the world clapped when you gentlemen did that. His words. That's right, man. Get on, Mike G. Thanks, brother. I'll send my best to you, man. And everybody who clapped,
you have 60 seconds remaining.
Let me call back before you close it down.
All right. Grant, are you being sarcastic or? Because no, they weren't faking. They were not faking. They couldn't fake it. Because they came in after 72 hours and took all their commissary. Everything, even their coffee.
Global Tellink, you have a prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at the California State Prison for Brant, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Okay.
All right, I'm back, baby. So we'll go ahead and shut this one on down, man. You know, I thank y'all for your time, and Mike G, Tim, everybody else. I can't remember who's here tonight, but you guys have a great weekend, and just know we're always gonna put the truth out there. I won't cross the lines I ain't supposed to. We are highly activated over here, and all the naysayers can eat shit and die and suck my dick because they're full of shit. I'm keeping it real, folks. I'm keeping it real, keeping it solid always over here, man. You know, other than that, you guys know who you are. I send mine to the worthy.
Wait a minute. Grant's challenging the validity of the hunger strike here. He said you guys were faking it. He said, hunger strike. Ask him. Were you...
Who?
Grant.
Who said that?
This fellow Grant. He's been in here asking a lot of questions. Now he wants to suggest that
he said
the hunger strike.
He said that we were...
And I told him no, because we went in and got your stuff after 72 hours.
Yeah. Well, Grant, bud, I'm sorry you think like that, but hey, man, everybody's got a brain. Do what you do, man. I know this. The guys in my area were faking it, stud. And that's a fact. They took us out of our cells after 72 hours, man, and took all our shit and left us in the pod. So that's that. I was there. I'm sure there were some people faking it, but it wasn't us in the short corridor. You can bet that. So I'll leave that there. And I know for a fact, me and my friends were going on the real tip, you know, and that's that, baby. Everybody else, I send mine. The worthy, you know who you are. Until next time, stay solid, man, and beware of these undercover moles like that, man. I send my best.
You know who you are. Y'all have a good night and the rest of your weekend. Ciao for now. We'll see you next time.